Good morning, everyone. I want to welcome everyone to this morning's meeting of the Senate Committee on Legislative Operations and Elections. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Senator Daley. Here. Senator Canizaro. Senator Krasner. Senator Steinbeck. Here. Chair Orenshaw.
Present. Madam Secretary, please mark Senator Krasner and Majority Leader Canizaro present when they arrive. We do have a quorum. I want to welcome anyone who is in either of the hearing rooms. I don't see anyone in either of the hearing rooms, anyone who might be joining us online. A few housekeeping measures. I want to ask everyone to silence their electronic devices. If someone wishes to testify, we'd ask them to sign in at the table by the door and provide a business card to the committee secretary. For those joining online, please be sure to mute your microphone when you're not speaking to minimize any background noise. When testifying, please turn on the microphone and clearly state your name and affiliation with any group if you have one. Then turn on the microphone off each time you're done speaking. If you're going to be giving out paper handouts, we ask for 20 paper copies for members of the public. Electronic copies should have been submitted in PDF form to our committee manager 24 hours in advance of the committee meeting. We expect courtesy and respect in our interactions during the meeting, even if we may not agree with another person's position on an issue. Committee members will be using their laptops to view handouts and other documents. Please do not view this as a sign of disrespect or inattention. As a reminder, we may take agenda items out of order. We will have a period of public comment, and each person who wishes to make public comment will be limited to 2 minutes. Today, we are going to be having a work session, and before I open the work session, I just want us members to be at ease so that we can wait for our other members to arrive. So members, we are at ease. Members, we will come back to order, and we will open our work session. I will turn it over to our policy analyst, Mr. Sturm.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Pepper Sturm, Committee Policy Analyst with LCB Research. As a reminder, as nonpartisan staff, I cannot advocate for or against any measure. You have copies of the work session document before you, along with copies of the bills. There are copies for the public in attendance today. And with the chair's permission, I may skip through some of the bill summary portion, but especially for the first bill with amendments, I will read out the detail.
That's fine. Thank you, Mr. Sturm. You can skip over that.
Our first bill up for work session today is Senate Bill 226. Senate Bill 226 makes various changes to the interim structure of the legislature. We heard this bill yesterday, May 21st. Among other items, the bill revises certain procedural and purview provisions for the Joint Interim Standing Committee and authorizes such committees to meet early, although there's an amendment about that. I'll skip the public lands portion, and the bill also makes Sunset Committee of Legislative Commission independent, and the bill aligns membership, organization, operations of Sunset Committee, Ledge Committee on Review and Oversight of Tahoe, and the Ledge Committee on Senior Citizens, Veterans, and Adults with Special Needs to align them with the various joint interim standing committees. Finally, the bill revises provisions relating to certain reports and other information that must be submitted to certain legislative committees, and provisions related to legislative committee members and staff regulated by the Nevada Lobbying Disclosure and Regulation Act. Provisions relating to the submittal of certain reports are also amended. Senator Orenshaw has submitted a proposed conceptual amendment that you can see in detail on the following page. In brief, the amendment deletes the new language that would have required the approval of 5 members of a joint standing committee and instead restores the approval by a majority of members in each house. Second, it provides that the Subcommittee on Public Lands is instead a full committee that operates independently from the Joint Interim Standing Committee on Natural Resources and provides that the members, chair, vice chair of the new committee be appointed by the Ledge Commission. Revises the membership of the Committee on Public Lands, and revises the number of measures the Joint Interim Standing Committee on Natural Resources is authorized to request, and transfers the authority to request 4 measures to the Public Lands Committee. And finally, it deletes the provision that changes the start date for interim committees from the existing November 1st to September 1st. So the current November 1st would stay in place. And again, these are explained in more detail in the page following this provision. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sturm. I would accept a motion to amend and do pass Senate Bill 226 with the amendment in the work session document.
Motion to amend and do pass.
Motion from amended do pass from Vice Chair Daley, second from the Majority Leader. Members, any discussion on the motion? Senator Steinbeck.
Yes, I'm going to vote yes and reserve my right as I continue to discuss this with my caucus. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Senator Steinbeck. Vice Chair Daley, did you have any comments you want to make?
I just, if we could get a little more information on keeping the November date change, I'm fine with it. I just was, because we were going to go back to September, but was there some logistic problem that didn't allow for that?
Thank you. And in response to your question, I did reach out to a lot of different members of our chamber for ideas on the bill and issues that people saw as problems with the bill that we had sponsored that had come out of the Assembly during the last session and ended up being vetoed. So the amendment represents some of the things that were brought to me, reaching out to other members. Amendment 5 regarding the timeline, that actually was suggested by Senator Krasner. She brought that up to me, concern about the elongated time that the bill proposed for interim committees to meet, and that she felt that might be an extra burden on the committees, on the staff. So that was a concern she had, and I included that in the amendment to address that concern she brought up.
And then I just, so on the Sunset Subcommittee going separate, how many bill drafts does the Sunset Subcommittee end up with? I thought it was reduced. I'm just curious. I was looking for it a second ago, but I couldn't find it.
Actually, I wonder if I could defer to Ms. Delosier in Las Vegas, our legal counsel. If I could.
Kelsey Delosier for
Thank you.
the
If you
record.
happen to know that, appreciate that.
Yes, Kelsey Delosier for the record. Section 1, subsection 3, paragraph G provides that the Sunset Committee may request the drafting of not more than 5 legislative measures that relate to the scope of the committee.
Thank you very much, Ms. Delosier.
And, sorry, I did want to provide that it also provides that they can request additional legislative measures if the Legislative Commission approves each additional request by a majority vote.
Thanks.
Thank you. I knew that it was a little bit different than the other established committees. It still has 5 and everything, and I'm fine with that. Generally, most of those recommendations get all lumped into one. I mean, we had 10 recommendations this last time, and we ended up with 2 bills, so I think 5 is plenty.
Thank you, Vice Chair. Any other comments or questions, members? No. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Madam Secretary, please note that there are 4 in favor, and Senator Krasner is excused. Mr. Sturm.
Mr. Chair, Pepper Sturm, LCB Research. Our next bill for work session is Assembly Bill 499. This was heard May 8th. This was sponsored by Assemblymember Yeager. This bill requires county clerks to establish and maintain online voter services portal and requires mail ballot return envelopes and any communications from the county clerk to registered voters to include a QR code. Additionally, the bill requires the Department of Motor Vehicles to regularly send certain information relating to persons with a driver's license or ID card to the amendment you see summarized here and on the following page. The Speaker Yeager is still working on an amendment, and this proposed amendment would not be appropriate. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sturm. That's my understanding as well, that Speaker Yeager wants to continue to work on a possible amendment, but not this amendment. So given that, I would like to accept a motion to do pass Assembly Bill 499.
Motion to do pass.
A motion from Vice Chair Daley, a second from Majority Leader Canizaro. Members, any discussion on the motion? Senator Steinbeck.
Yes, again, I'm going to vote yes to vote it out of committee and reserve my right to change. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any other discussion, Vice Chair Daley?
Yeah, just, I'm assuming or hoping that he's working with the Secretary of State, because the Secretary of State had some recommendations, mostly parallel, but not all, so I'm hoping some of those recommendations from the Secretary of State are going to end up in the amendment.
Thank you, Vice Chair Daley. Again, I don't want to speak for Speaker Yeager, but encourage you maybe to also reach out to him to let him know your thoughts on that. So any other discussion, any other questions? No? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Madam Secretary, please note that there are 4 ayes in favor. Senator Krasner is excused, and Senator Steinbeck actually reserves his right, and as he did on Senate Bill 226 as well. And I neglected to sign floor statements, so I will assign the floor statement for Senate Bill 226 to myself. And on Assembly Bill 499, Vice Chair Daley, if you don't mind taking that floor statement. With that, I'd like to close the work session. The last item on our agenda is public comment. Don't see anyone in either of the hearing rooms broadcasting, anyone on the phone lines who wishes to make public comment. We are limiting it to 2 minutes per person.
The public line is open and working. There are no callers at this time.
Thank you very much, broadcasting. With that, we are adjourned. Thank you. Thank you.